All right. Fifth time is a charm, y'all. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Cullen's Music Corner. I'm Cullen the Great. Today we're going to be talking about NLE Choppa's newest track, Moonlight, featuring the one and only Big Sean. This song is off of Choppa's newest album, From Light to Dark. But before we dive into that, I just kind of want to point something out real quick. For those of you that haven't really listened to Choppa before, aren't really aware of his music, it is your typical trap rap kind of stuff, rapping about gang violence, drugs, women, etc. But he is sort of in the middle of kind of a lifestyle change right now. He's trying to shy away from rapping so much about the negative influences in his early life, and he's trying to spread more positive messages with his newer music, hence the new album name, From Light to Dark, kind of showcasing his journey through the struggle, basically just kind of shining light on the fact that there is a way out, there is another side. You don't have to be trapped and stuck in the same old routine that ultimately ends up never really good. We all know that. So just kind of wanted to let everybody know that he is kind of starting fresh in my eyes. I like to think that he is kind of reinventing himself, rebranding himself, kind of he's going to kind of have to find a new fan base, kind of start from the ground up, essentially. So I'm excited for this, and I'm excited to hear what he's got. I did mention it earlier. This is off of From Light to Dark, his newest album, just released November 1st. I haven't had a chance to listen to the entire album. I more than likely will not do an album review on it. There's just a lot of music I'm playing catch up on. I got music of my own I'm working on, but this song itself is really good, and if it's anything like the album, then I'm sure the album itself is also very good. Let's just dive right on in. I was a big fan the second I heard this song. The instrumental was just it's real smooth sounding. It's kind of got a little somber sense to it, but in the way that it's kind of showcasing that from light to dark. It's got a darker sound while the lyrics shed a little bit more light on positive ideologies. I was a really big fan of that. He is one of those artists that sound good with auto-tune, and if you're an artist that sounds good with auto-tune, a lot of the stuff that you put out is going to have that mainstream appeal. It is going to sound good to the everyday listener's ears, and this song did sound good. The second the chorus kicked off, I was a fan of it. I really liked his rhyme scheme in the chorus, and just kind of the attitude that came across in the song was present from the second I started listening. So I really enjoyed that. Kind of like I mentioned earlier, in this song, you can hear him kind of going through that lifestyle change. He talks a little bit about guns and violence, but he does kind of go through and talk about a little bit more grown things, I guess you could say. You know, he started rapping about meditation, facing his problems like a real man, telling his hood not to get a loan, basic stuff like that you don't hear in everyday trap music, which I think is kind of unique in his sense, and I think it's going to really help him in rebranding who he is as a musician. You also have a taste of that harsh reality that he did go through when he was saying stuff like, my future was scary, Michael Myers. We all know Michael Myers, Halloween. That stuff's scary, man. I don't want nobody coming up on me with a big old knife. Imagine comparing your future to the movie of Halloween, and that's kind of the everyday life he was living. So much respect, much props to NLE Choppa and kind of turning himself around, getting out of a negative atmosphere and putting himself in a more positive light for everybody. His lyrics were really solid. They had some sustenance to them. They had meaning to them. They resonate with me a little bit. I'm sure they would resonate with a lot of other listeners as well. His flow was okay. He does kind of switch up a little bit at some odd times in the song, but other than that, it was pretty good. One thing I did notice that I noticed in quite a few trap kind of songs that are real heavy in auto-tune is there's a lot of time-based delays. There's a lot of extra noise going on in the background, a lot of ad-libs, overdubs, I like to call them emphasis dubs. and that reverb and delay noise kind of all jumbled together in the background. I felt like it took away a little bit from the chorus and from parts of his verses. That is one of my big critiques. He's not the only one that does it. It's throughout the entire game. I think people just need to turn the verb and the delay down a little bit, okay? Yo, let's talk about my boy Big Sean. He is having a great year. Just dropped Detroit 2. I did a review on it earlier. Wasn't the biggest fan. The more I listen to it, the more it grows on me, but I still don't think it's his best work. However, listening to this song, I was like, ooh, damn. Big Sean went off. He just attacked his verse so hard. His lyrics were incredible. He is a lyricist. I think he's one of the best in the game. His flow was really good. That is his biggest fault, in my opinion, is sometimes his flows can get real whack, and then sometimes he has some of the hottest flows I've ever heard. So this song, he had a really good flow, really good lyrics. It all just kind of sounded good. And I can honestly say I was surprised when I listened to this song. I was not a big NLE Choppa fan before, just because of that trap rap kind of stuff. That wasn't really what I was into. The second I put this on, I was blown away. I really like the outcome of this song. I really think that he is headed in a great direction. This collab with Big Sean just shows that he's making waves in the industry, so he is going to be an artist to look out for. He already is a bigger named artist anyways, but come 2021, I think he's going to be able to grow his fan base a lot more. I think he's going to be able to appeal to a wider audience, maybe even get that mainstream radio appeal with songs and features like this. Overall, I'm giving this song a 9 out of 10. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I was so surprised at the track. I did not think it was going to be anywhere as good as it was. The quality of it was real good. The verses, the hook, it was all real good. So I was real impressed, and I think that it stands for a very positive message. So you get a 9 out of 10 from me, Mr. Choppa. That just about does it for me here at Cullen's Music Corner. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out my videos. If you haven't had a chance to yet, make sure you go check out that new Cullen the Great song, Every Day, available on all streaming services. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram under @CullenTheGreat_ and Facebook under Cullen the Great. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and until next time, peace.